Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Our Moments with God, our moments with the Word of God, our moments with the love, mercy, and compassion of God, our moments also with the nature of God. As you can see, I hope you can see, it is snowing outside and the whole place is white. I would have loved to go outside and shoot despite the freezing cold, but my camera will get spoiled when all the snow falls on it. I just wanted to let you have a view of the beautiful nature of God. And this is, of course, the physical nature of God, but as we shall see, what is God's other nature or spiritual nature, as St. John has been telling us. But before that, I invite you to be co-missionaries with me and co-proclaimers of the Word of God and love of God, and also share the videos with others, like them, and please subscribe. Thank you very much. Yes, what you see here is the physical nature that God has created with snow, sunshine, rain, and sometimes floods and sometimes dry spans of life. But this is physical nature. But what St. John in his letters has been telling us all these days, and today is the last day, Saturday, 10th of January, before the Christmas season ends tomorrow with the baptism of Jesus. But that we shall see tomorrow. What I'm trying to say is that John has been speaking about what God is. And he continuously, in this whole letter of St. John, he has been repeatedly saying that God is love and that we are begotten of love, and therefore we should love one another. But I remember when I came here about 11 years ago and I started learning the new language German at the age of 64, I remember that along with our textbook, there used to be also a workbook. So we learn the text in German, and then we are supposed to do work book. These days in many schools as well, they have the main textbook, main body of the text, and along with that comes a workbook. So that workbook helps you to actually put into practice or practice what you have learned there. What sometimes I feel with regard to the New Testament or this letter of St. John, I feel, but I will come to that also, solution to that. That the New Testament speaks so much about love. It instructs us to love one another. And this whole story of Christmas, the Son of God coming to the earth and becoming like one of us, was to share God's love with us and to show God's loving face to us human beings by being one of us. But this love that they speak about, whether it is St. John or Matthew or all the Gospels, there is no workbook. Like while learning German or while learning, I suppose, technical things as well, those who go to technical schools or otherwise, or medical students, they have theory and then they have practice on skeletons or on the human bodies and or frogs. So those are practical things. What happens when John or others tell us about love? Love one another. Is there a textbook? There is a textbook in the form of the New Testament, but what about a workbook? Have they provided us with a workbook? How to love? Now it is snowing outside, and of course there will be people who would be clearing the snow. So there is one thing that comes from nature, but then people have developed a way of clearing the snow, clearing the road, clearing our path so that we don't slip and things like that. What about love? And this is something that is quite interesting for us. But the solution to that is, or the workbook is God Himself. That God has loved us, as it is also mentioned once again today. God loved us first. So He is showing us what it means by giving His whole self for us, and setting us an example that just as he has loved us, we should love one another. And like the other day it was mentioned, there is no fear in love, there is no hatred in love. And somebody who says that I love God and hates his brother, and I have been repeating this again and again about how recently the right-wing Hindu fundamentalists Bajrang Dal and Vishwa Hindu Parishad in India attacked the Christians celebrating Christmas because they have no love. They have not experienced God. Maybe they have experienced God's physical nature, I don't know. But how they can hate people is a big question, but it is also a question for us. Even if I may not hate others, do I practice love as is expected from Jesus? And as we come to the end of this Christmas season, it is only the end of Christmas season. Of course, it is still snowing here outside, but let us not end with what Christmas is all about, which is God sharing his love, and St. John is asking us to love one another as God has loved us. And if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel. Thank you.